Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In this episode I'm going to show you how to remove your center console and how to replace your radio. So let's get to it. And the first thing we're going to do is remove this trim here. Now what I recommend you to have is a couple of trim tools like this one, so we can go around and we can pry them without breaking it. So you come here at the bottom, go both sides, pull it up, and as you can see it comes out quite easily. Now, if you go an automatic car, what you're going to have to do is move this from parking to neutral. So that way we can actually move it and get it out of the way. Okay? The best thing to do with this is carefully disconnect all your plugs. So in here we got the one for the different modes on the automatic gearbox, so we can remove that. Then we can just put it out of the way like this. We don't have to disconnect this one at all. We can just leave it like that. You can disconnect it if you want to, by all means. Here's the plug, and all you do is just press down, disconnect, and that's out of the way. Now what we're going to have to remove, if you can see here, right, we got 1 and 2 screws, so let's get them out. That's one. Just don't lose them, put them somewhere that you're going to remember where they are. Take this one out as well. Okay, so that's out. And now, as you can see, that's a bit loose. The next step is going to be use a plastic trim and just go around here, try to get all the clips off, okay? The only thing that I'd say is be careful, since these cars are quite old now, and all the plastic with the cold and hot weather and changes in temperature are going to get a bit brittle. So let's be careful so we don't break anything. Okay, this is out. I don't know if you can see it from here, but there's a wire coming here for your hazards. So we're going to be able to just take it off. As you can see, you press here at the top, it goes this way, and you just pull it out. Okay, after that, we're going to have another 2 plugs, which probably I'm pretty sure you won't be able to see. You don't have to disconnect this if you don't want to, but it's going to be easier for us. So I'll take them out and then I'll show you. All right, so this is out of the way. Let me show you the plugs that I was on about. You got 2 plugs here. You might have more depending on the vehicle that you've got. And they all go at the back of here. So the one on the right hand side that is bigger will fit here, the smaller will fit here, and right there is the one for your hazards. Now we're going to have another 2 screws like we had at the bottom here, so let's remove them. Once we've got these 2 screws out, we're going to have another 2 down here. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, you can see them right there. Right here. 1 here and 1 on the side. So let's get them out. That's 1. And here comes the other one. Now this radio, I purchased it basically a year ago, I think it was. more or less when I bought the car. And as you can see, it's quite cheap, plasticky and whatever. I just bought it like that because it kind of look a bit retro. But I'm going to show you all the things I had to do to make it fit. Now, this is just all normal connectors, so we're going to remove them. Before we proceed, let me show you all the things I had to do to get this one to fit. So as you can see, I had to shave all of that there and all of that here, so I can actually use one hole here to make it fit and make it be flat with this. The issue that I was having, it was that this was sticking up too further forward, so when I pressed this to be open, it was catching on there, so I wasn't going to be able to use this, which I like. Is a nice touch. You can put your phone there, so I wanted to keep it. This is why I'm going with a single one still. So what we're going to do is take them out so we can remove this, and I'll show you what we do after that. Once that's out, we can slide this off, and you can do whatever you want with this radio now. I still got the original one. One thing as well for you to check is that if you get a connector like this, like my one, this is how it came. I haven't done anything to it yet. So if a radio, for example like this one, has a connector like this, which means we're gonna have to get an adapter like this one. Okay. There's something as well that if you look closely, this looks like it's not all one piece. So if we do this, we go a connector there, and most likely this will fit into your aerial. Sometimes they do this, sometimes they have another connector, either because the aerial connector on the radio is further apart, or just because this way you can put it in any position and you don't have to really be pulling from this one. So what we're going to do is just use that connector that I show you, put it in here, push it in, and job done. On new radio, I would say new to the car, because actually this radio I found that at my parents' house, which I used to have in my first car, and I didn't even remember that I had it. So as you can see on this one, we already got that connector there. We already got this, so we can just push this in at the back of here, and we're going to have a radio. When it comes to install your radio, normally they're going to come with this sleeve, this metal sleeve. Which it does is actually don't let your radio slide all over the place or come out, push itself inside. As you can see, there's different models and different ways to do it, but this one, what it does is hook here on the radio, and it's hooked here on the radio on this side. And what it does is when you put your radio in, it just holds it in place. Now, the issue with the Foresters and this design is that when you put this in here, it won't fit because these metal brackets. But it has these holes here where your radio will have holes as well, so we can actually hold it in place. So for these purposes, we're not going to need this. And every time that you buy a radio, it will come with the metal fittings that you can put in here, right? You slide it through there, both sides, and it will push this up and this will come out. Now, if you don't have them, to be honest, you can do one of them with your finger, just like that. Or let's be a bit more professional. Let's put this in, just like this, hooks it up, then just push it, slide it forward, that's it. And now we just go to the other side, which is going to be a bit more tricky. We can go just on the side like this, okay? We leave it there, and that slides off, okay? What we're going to do now is put our radio in here, just like this, and see if the holes align with any of these ones here. As you can see, they do. So we can use one of those holes to hold it in place, and it feels like it's going to be just right. So if we open this, it will still open and it won't touch in there. So let's get those screws in, the ones that we took from the other one. Let's go from there. Once you're happy with the position of your radio, you can start to assemble everything back on. What I would say is that In my case, because of the holes in the radio, I just swap these screws, which they actually machine screws, for something more like this. For something more like this, like a normal screw. Just because of the shape of the hole, these ones wouldn't go in. Not big of a deal. Basically, I align my radio as best as I can with the holes there, and with the surface, it's going to be a bit of a gap in here, and you won't be able to use this if you're going to use the OEM lock, let's say, because it will actually hit on here if you put that on. So if you care that much, you can make it fit by trimming it, because as you can see, it won't fit in, but I don't really care, so I'm just going to put that in and see what happens. This is the adapter that we need for the Forester, so you just plug it in on the original loom, and then this is the one for the back of the radio. So we do exactly the same thing. We just check which pins are we using, and for example, this one is the full one, so this one will go there. You can as well sort of tell by the colors. Okay, so you put that in, and this plugs right at the back of the radio. So we plug that in nice and tight. We won't use this on our setup, but here we go, aerial, which, let me get you a bit closer. There we go, right there, and it will connect right at the back of the radio. Let's put that on. Once all the connectors are plugged in at the back of a radio, what we can do is just fit it back in. What we're going to do now is just put all screws back in. At this point, if you want to, you can put them all in once. I like to do it this way. Just put them in but not tighten them yet, so I can get my radio set in place correctly. At this stage, you can do two things. Either put your ignition on and try your radio, see if it starts, which it does, or you can just put it all back in and try it later. Alright, that was a bit weird, but yeah, okay, I'll take it. What I'm gonna do before we actually put everything back on is clean a bit here, because it's full of dust, and I know you can't see it really, but now that I know that it's there, it's going to be bothering me. Just like around the gearbox, you can see there's marks where the plastic sits, and I just don't like it now that I've seen it. Let's put our center console back on. Let's put our vents back on. Remember to connect all your plugs back in. Do it gently, you don't want to bend any of the pins, and then have a bigger ratio just because you change it right. Now let's see if it fits. And the way that this goes in, it has a couple of clips at the top, so I recommend you to try to push the top in first. See if we can do it that way. There we go, that's better. All clips in, and now this is loose just because we don't have our plastics there. I don't know if you can see it from there, but right here, right there, you got a couple of plastic tabs, so that's where they're gonna have to be sitting, and then we can actually just put our last two screws back in. Don't lose them, it's quite easy to actually drop them. And now that I'm saying it, I'm probably going to be ending, I'm going to probably end dropping one in, hopefully not. And here we go, the last piece of the puzzle. Remember to connect your cigarette lighter, this plug here for your gearbox mode, and then, don't know if you can see it from there, Let's go a bit closer. Right there, we go a couple of taps there and a couple of taps down here. So what we do is we hook it up, mind that cable there, we hook it up there, like that, push it in, and everything else clips in, right down there. Let's close that, let's see what happens. Radio's on. I think the only thing that I'm not gonna like from this radio is the fact that it is red, as you can see, and the actual lights on the car are green. Right, so let's see what it sounds like.
The minute that I saw you, I was gone.
That's not bad, huh?
Bones. Baby, got me feeling like a ghost. Damn, it's sunny, should've brought less clothes. I gotta have you one last time, take it off my mind. Last night for a last goodbye. I gotta have you one last time, one last night for a last goodbye.
This video is based on the Subaru Forester, but in reality, most of vehicles, the setup of the radios are the same. Sort of the wiring and stuff like that is kind of the same. The only difference is that you will need an adapter depending on the radio and depending on the car that you've got. And that's basically about it. It's quite simple setup, quite simple way to improve your radio, change your radio, put a double with a big screen, or put just a single like I put. And to be honest, it's not hard. You can do it yourself. Just, as I said, if everything has plastic around like this, and just be careful because the trims will break if you force them too much. So apart from that, yeah, that I think is going to be everything. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope we help you decide if you want to replace your radio or not. And so you know how this thing goes. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing if you do. And I shall see you very shortly.